Assalamu alaikum kids, this is Ayaz again, and this is going to be your second assignment for week 2. Okay, and the topic is the same which we have done in the previous lecture, other forms of direct proportion, which you can find on your book 2 on page 12. And this is something the same that we have recall back, which you're supposed to know in your last week's stuff, which is about the direct proportion. You should know mathematically what is the direct proportion, or how we can relate the indirect proportion, how we can relate the two quantities. Means if one quantity is increasing, the other will also have to increase. The one is decreasing, the other will also have to decrease, and this increase or decrease must be in a proportion. And mathematically you could see the two equations over there, that either the two quantities could be represented as equal rates, or these two quantities can be also represented as two equal ratios. The first one represents the rates. Rates means the relationship between two quantities of different kinds, and the second one represents the ratios, means the relationship between two quantities of same kind. So, and another result was that when two variables are directly proportional, then the graph also always gives out to be is going to be a straight line which passing through the origin. And in today's lecture, basically what we are going to do is the practice now in your book 2 on page 16, and it has basically 4 parts. In fact, the question says that if y is directly proportional to x square, then, and the first a pair of values is also given, means y is 18 when x is 3. Now always remember this one. In direct proportion, and in the next lectures you're gonna come out with the inverse proportion also. One complete pair means y and x both. This pair is going to be given to you in order to find the constant of proportionality. Remember, we used to have y is directly proportional to x squared and y is equal to kx. When we write this words in the form of an equation, it comes out to be y is equal to kx, y is equal to kx square. So this constant of proportionality, which is unknown, to find that unknown, they always give you one complete pair, I mean y and x, to find it out, that one, in order to know the complete relationship. So the first part here is says that we need to find an equation connecting x and y. Second part is says that we need to find the value of y when x is equal to 5. Third one, now we find x when y is 32, and the last one we have to draw the graph between y and x square. So let's start this question to solve it now. The first part I said is it says the y is directly proportional to x square. So mathematically you could see we can write it down, y is equal to kx square. So k is the constant of proportionality. In order to find the k, the pair which they gave us already in the question, x3 and y18, we use that one. What we are doing here is I replace the value of y here 18, and in place of x I put 3 there. You see 3 square, so 3 square is 9 in the third step, so it becomes 18 is equal to 9k, and k is equal to 2. You know how? Very simple. The 9 which is being multiplied with the k, when you bring it to the other side, the left side, so it gets divided there. So 18 divided by 9, it gives you 2. And finally you the k is 2, and by replacing the value of k in the above relationship, y is equal to ax squared, so it gives you y is equal to 2x squared. So from where the 2 comes, this is the value of k. Okay, so now y is equal to 2x squared. This is the complete relationship which was required in the first part. Let's see the second part now. Second part says we know the value of x, which is 5, and we have to find the value of y then. So what we did is y is equal to 2 into 5 power 2. In fact, this is a kind of typo here. This is not 52, it is going to be 5 power 2. You see in the relationship, where is this? X square. So value of x 5, so 5 power 2. So which is going 5 power 2 is basically what? 25. 25 multiplied by 2, it gives you 50. So I'm again telling you here, 52 is a typo here. This is supposed to be 5 power 2. So please give me a little bit favor here. Don't complain and blame here for me. So in third part now, in third part y is given, which is 32, and we have to find the value of x here. So in the same relationship, y is equal to 2x squared, I replaces y is equal to 32. So all the mathematical steps are in front of you. So the 2 from on the right side comes on the left side, gets divided. 32 divided by 2 gives you 16. So x squared is equal to 16. So you take the square root of both sides. As you remember, whatever you do on the one side, you have to do the same thing on the other side also. So taking the square root on both sides, on the left side, square root got cancelled with the square. It remains just the x here. And on the right side, square root of 16, it gives you 4. And someday we will tell you also from where this plus minus comes. Whenever you take the square root, there are always going to be two possible values, one plus and the one is going to be negative. So let's go to the fourth part now. Fourth part, we have to draw this graph between y and x square. Since we already know, in fact it's given in the question, that y is directly proportional to x square, and we know when the two quantities are directly proportional, the graph is going to be a straight line, and that straight line must pass through the origin. So we know one of the points is going to be the origin. So the graph, to draw the graph is very simple. So we'll take one point as one of the points as origin. You could see here I took x is equal to 0. When I replace x is equal to 0 in this equation, y is equal to 2x squared, y also comes out to be 0. And then I took another point, x is equal to 2. And when you replace the 2 in the relationship, 2 power 2 is 4, 4 2s are 8. So I got the 2 points now, 0 0 and 2 8. So, and the graph, since you have already learned this how to draw the graph in your first week lectures, so I hope at least you know now. So I plotted the y on the y-axis and x square on the x-axis. You guys know these two perpendicular lines which meet at a point which is called as the origin, and this is 0 0. The other point is 2. You could see in the graph 2, and I took 8, and these two lines intersect at the point over there, 2 8. I wrote it down as a coordinate, join 0 0 and 2 8, and you will get this straight line which is passing through the origin. Okay, now in the same practice now 6, there are 3 questions. This is now the second question of practice now 3. In this question is almost the same as the previous one. It says there are two variables, y and x square, they are directly proportional, and one complete pair is given to you already, y21 and x2, which will help us to find out the value of k. And the very simple question is, then we need to find the value of y when x is equal to 4. So solution is in front of you now. So since these two, y and x square, are directly proportional, we can write it on y is equal to kx square. And so as usual, we use the given pair y21 x2 to find the value of k. So replacing these x and y in this relationship, you could see I replaces y with 21, x with 2, 2 power 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 21 is equal to 4k, and k is equal to 21 over 4. And this is the value of k, and I just replaces the value of k in the relationship y is equal to 21 over 4 x square. You could do 21, you can divide 21 by 4, and you could get something in decimal point, and that will also work. And now come up with the question that it says we need to find the value of y when x is equal to 4. So I just replaces the x4 in the relationship. So 4 square, you could see 4 square is 16, 4 square is not 8, remember, 4 into 4 is 16. So, and you got the value of y as 84. And the third part is in fact same y directly proportional to x square, and there is a whole table here. Some of the boxes are blank, which means we need to fill that those boxes. You could see 2, below the 2 the box is empty, which means we need to find the value of y here. In the next column we have y 56.25, and above it the blank box, which means we need to find the value of x here. And the third one, we see the complete pair is there, x is 3 and y is 81. What does it mean? This is again the same pair which will help us to find the value of constant of proportionality k. So let's jump on the question now. So we have as usual y is equal to kx square, and I use that pair x3 y81 to find the value of k. So replacing it, is all in front of you. You will come up k is equal to 9. So you're replacing the 9 in the relationship in place of k. Y is equal to 9x square. Here now, one by one we take the values. Like the first one, here we took y 56.25, replace it there, and here x9 goes on the side and gets divided, and we have here x squared is equal to 6.25, 56.25 divided by 9. And we need the x, so taking square root of both sides. On the left side, square root got cancelled with the square. X is equal to, you take the square root of 6.25 and it gives you 2.5. And this x greater than 0 means we are, remember, when you take the square root you always get two values plus minus, so here we're just only taking the positive value. And here the table, there was y441, and here we need to find the x again. So you could see replacing here 9 divides 441, 49, taking square root, and you got x is equal to 7. And then in the table you could see x was 2, and same way we do replaces x2 with 2 power 2, you could see 4, and we got the y 36, and you could see the rest in the next one also we find it. And here again, as usual, I say it's your turn now, and I want to see how much you got. So how I will judge this one is, you will take a short break, pause your video here, go to the book 2 and page 15, and there is solved example 6th, and go through all the steps of that example. Take your time and then come back. and definitely I know it will have improved your understanding. It have given you a little bit more edge now, and you to do the next assignment, and it's going to be your exercise 1b and question 5, 7 and 8. These three questions are exactly the same what we have done in practice now 6 and worked example 6. So don't be scared. So I hope my champs are going to do this one, and I'm going to wait for your return, your feedback and your uh, answers of these 5, 7 and 8. So that's it for today. Goodbye. Take care of you. Thank you.